Kamala Harris, she's been called a trailblazer, a symbol of hope and a fighter for justice. Born in Oakland, California, in 1964, Harris has shattered glass ceilings throughout her career, rising from District Attorney of San Francisco to Attorney General of California, and eventually becoming the first female Vice President of the United States. Her story is one of perseverance, ambition, and success. Or is it? Behind the polished public image lies a darker side the mainstream media rarely covers, but one that's well documented in court cases, buried in archives, and whispered about in hushed tones. Let's start with her time as San Francisco's district attorney, a position that earned her both praise and criticism. Harris was known for her tough-on-crime stance, but some of her actions raise eyebrows. The 2010 case of George Gage, a man wrongly convicted based on flawed evidence, is a prime example. Harris's office fought to keep him in prison, despite knowing that key evidence had been withheld from the defense. Gage, an innocent man, spent years behind bars while Harris's team argued technicalities instead of seeking justice. And what about the infamous drug lab scandal? Under her watch, a San Francisco crime lab technician was found to have tampered with evidence, affecting hundreds of cases. Yet Harris's office failed to notify defense attorneys in a timely manner, leading to the dismissal of over 1,000 criminal cases. Why wasn't there more transparency? What was being hidden? Her tenure as California's Attorney General brought more troubling questions. Harris championed policies that disproportionately affected minority communities. Take, for instance, her support for the death penalty despite evidence showing its biased application against African Americans and Latinos, or her controversial decision to prosecute parents of true children, a move that critics say unfairly targeted low-income families already struggling to survive. But perhaps the most unsettling chapter is her relationship with big money and powerful interests. Harris has been criticized for her cozy ties with the very industries she was supposed to regulate. In 2012, she struck a deal with major banks involved in the foreclosure crisis, securing a $25 billion settlement. On the surface, it seemed like a win for struggling homeowners. But when you dig deeper, you find that Harris refused to prosecute One West Bank, a financial giant that engaged in widespread foreclosure fraud. Coincidentally, a bank once run by Stephen Mnuchin, who later became Trump's Treasury Secretary. Some say she protected the powerful at the expense of the vulnerable. And then there's the troubling case of Daniel Larson, another innocent man who spent 13 years in prison for a crime he didn't commit, despite overwhelming evidence proving his innocence. Harris's office fought to keep him imprisoned. A federal judge eventually overturned Larson's conviction. But why did Harris's team go to such lengths to prevent justice? These are not just isolated incidents. They paint a pattern of behavior that suggests a leader more interested in preserving her career and alliances than in serving justice. So, who is Kamala Harris, really? A beacon of progress or a politician with a shadowy past? What other stories are lurking in the dark corners of her career, hidden from public view? The cases I've mentioned are just the tip of the iceberg, and many of them are still entangled in legal battles. There are details scattered across various court documents, some accessible, others not. But one thing is clear: the narrative we've been fed is only one side of the story. What do you think? Is Kamala Harris truly the champion of justice she claims to be? Or is there more beneath the surface that we should be questioning? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.